Welcome to another weekly market update after the market closed on Friday 29th of March 2018. Here's where we check in, look at the overall long-term trend as well as the short-term trend to make sure basically our entire lives are aligned with it because it affects everything. Here's the S&P 500, which is kind of like the benchmark index we go by most of the time. It's like the FTSE for the USA. And going back over a few years now, week by week, these little zigzags is showing us the action. And then we smooth out the action with these things called moving averages here. The blue one is over 40 weeks and the red one is over 70 weeks. What was the average for the last 40 weeks or 70 weeks at any given time? So as we can see here, the things are pointing upwards, generally speaking, and the uptrend began when my proprietary signal gave the go-ahead for the bull market on 7th of November 2016, and it has not yet said to get out. Having said that, we encountered after this very, very smooth and almost, way too complacent ride upwards during the whole of 2017. Things got a little bit crazy and overheated, and then as a result, we're having this choppy. You can see how orderly it was, and all of a sudden we've got this choppy all over the place up and down action. So the long-term trend, however, if we were to kind of draw our line, trying to check on the trend upwards, is it's quite interesting actually, because that would probably be the strongest line I could have drawn. Longest line is the strongest, it's got the most touches. And what we saw is the week before last is that line kind of got broken as I was commentating on last time, and that was really threatening, things staying in line. And so that broke, but this week we had a kind of counter-attack and things have pushed up again. But there's still, could argue that, a trend has been broken there. The market is yet to kind of really, push back enough to get back into safety. You can see a sort of sideways line there as well. It's got strong support around 2586, and that is the line it bounced off. So I'm going to say that we are still having a healthy technical picture. We got the prices above the 40 week and the 40 weeks pointing upwards, as well as above a couple of other things I look at. The only thing that's kind of missing is this relative strength is quite weak, and that's definitely kind of flying the ointment for the bear case. So gonna have to sort of say for now that a little bit neutral on the long-term term, with definitely though with the little bit swingometer, if you like, is sort of still pointing to the bullish side of things, but with a warning there that things need to straighten themselves out pretty quick, because not every single indicator I look at is aligned for that. So having said that, let's look at the short-term trend. We can see day-by-day action here for the last 6 months, and here we can get a close-up more of what's going on. And there's that line of support we're pointing it to on the weekly chart there. You can see that this little support that's kicked in. There's quite a nice line there actually that it bounced off of, and it's holding. If I was to look at this for fresh eyes, it's been quite frustrating how it's messed around. It hasn't managed to get decisively above the 50-day and hold there. But if I was to look at this with fresh eyes, as if this was an individual stock, I actually see this as quite an appealing entry point around here. So, but having said that, short-term trend, again, I'm going to have to say stay neutral to downwards. Basically, we're just looking at a big amber light right now for short and long-term. Still very much in wait-and-see mode, I'm afraid. Let's just check in on the New York Composite. Sort of has everything in it, the Nasdaq and everything, and that's on the weaker side. That's flirting with its 200-day moving average like that, which is one more point for the kind of bearish camp, if you like. So we're not saying we're not anywhere near saying get out yet, but we're not saying up either. It's still very much a wait and see kind of market, amber light for both the short and long-term trend, and I'll speak to you next time.